Hey, I'm ChristopherJMUA, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Unless you've never been here before, then welcome. I'm glad you stopped by. I'm glad you decided to take a look and see what we were all about over here. Since you are here and you know that you're gonna watch the video anyway, why don't you go ahead and just hit the little subscribe button right below this video. It's that little red word where it says subscribe. Go ahead and click that. Then once you do click that, click the little notification bell right beside that so it puts the little marks over the bell so that you're alerted every time I upload a new video. Once you do that, you have officially joined the family, and I just want you to know that you're beautiful. Even if you didn't hit the subscribe button, you're still beautiful, but I would much rather you hit the subscribe button because that would be really, really nice of you, and it would help me at the same time, and I would help you if I could. So I think we should all help each other, and you should subscribe. Thank you. I am so glad that you guys stopped in today because you might have already asked yourself, why do you have almost a full face of makeup on except no eyeshadow? Or is that nude eyeshadow? No, wait, that's not nude eyeshadow. You're just not wearing any eyeshadow. Why is that? And then I would say that's because we're testing out an eyeshadow palette today, which you already know because you read the title and probably saw the thumbnail. I didn't think that far ahead yet. But we are reviewing a palette today, and it's not just any palette. It is the Makeup Revolution, the Emily Edit, the Wants palette. That's kind of a mouthful. I didn't really think about that. It's got very pretty packaging. It's like reflective handwriting in cursive, or the unicorn is anyway. It's really pretty. I got this palette because I wanted to test out what the new version of this is. I don't actually know if it's fully a new version. I just know that it was out. A review was done by our lovely and glamorous glam life guru / Tati Westbrook, and then the palette wasn't out anymore, and it just started getting released again. So I'm very curious as to if this palette is reformulated or what exactly happened to it. I didn't get to use it before when it came out the first time, so I can only kind of have her review to go off of. Okay, edit to my previous statement. I just did some investigative research and discovered that it was recalled after mold was found in a palette. It's not very reassuring for this one, but surely they took care of it. I know Makeup Revolution has been around for a hot minute, and they're pretty popular. I mean, I love their concealer. That's really all I've tried from them, but it's really good. But I was just super curious if maybe this palette and this version after the mold issue and after it was recalled and then resold, if maybe the formula is different in this one, and see if it performs well for me. Worst case, if it doesn't and we just really don't like it, I can always return it. Oh, and with the unicorn still, it lists all the shades and the shade names on the back, and it has Emily Noel. I don't really know if I'm following her or subscribed to her channel. I will have to be because I pretty much follow and subscribe to every creator that I come across. But that's her on the back, and then all the shades. I might have to use that for reference. I don't know if the palette has its own shade name list or anything. But here we have the palette wrapped in bubble wrap, my favorite. You wanna hear a lame story? I have all of the bubble wrap from every cosmetic purchase I've ever made. I also have a big bag of all of the cosmetic boxes from the purchases I've ever made. I've thrown away some more boxes recently, but all my initial cosmetic purchases, I still have all of the packaging in a bag in my closet. I just love makeup, you know? It's probably a problem. I digress. The palette. We have a hard plastic palette that it's in, I guess if you want to call it that. On the front it looks just like the unicorn did, and on the back it does not look just like the unicorn did. It has all the ingredients, the weight, the warning that it's for external use only, no internal usage. And if we open it up, let me open it like this just in case. We have, oh my gosh, we have a giant mirror. It is the entire, I don't want to blind you guys, but it's this big. The mirror is this big. And the palette itself is very, very gorgeous. There's the palette itself. That's really pretty. It's very nude, kind of warm in some places, a little cool in a couple of other places. Ooh, that green is really pretty and very deep. There's some pretty shimmers in here. I don't know if they're like foil, metallic, or shimmers exactly, but we'll check them out. And I will give you swatches of this palette so you can see the shades and see if it's something that you might like for yourself. I'm excited. I don't know, whenever I watched the initial review on this, I don't even remember when I watched it by Tati. It feels like it was quite a while ago, but I didn't know who Emily Noel was then, nor do I still now. I don't know why, I never really researched it. All I saw was the drama and tea around the palette, but never really gave it a shot myself, so now's my time. And before I actually do get into the eye look, I am going to go ahead and complete the swatches so that you guys can see what every color looks like, so that I'll be able to go through the shade names as we go, and you can just kind of have a better idea of what shade we're working with when I put it on. Our first shade is called The Cream. How did I get glitter all over me? You know, last time I did this, I ran out of room, so I'm going to start like way up here and try to do this. Oh, excuse my pit hair. Let me move that out of the way. Okay. I mean, that's an okay matte white. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of powdery, but it's got some pigment to it. I feel like I could build that up to be pretty intense. And there is no eyeshadow base or any concealer down on my arm, so keep that in mind too, because that will help with the intensity, or it should. Next, we have the shade Hobby. Next, we have the shade Prayer. Ooh, wow, in the pan, I thought that was going to be much more brown, but it's very red. I mean, yes, it is brown, but it's much more of a red brown than what it looked like in the pan. I thought it was going to be like a brown brown. Next, we have the shade Grateful. Ooh. That reminds me of the Anastasia Subculture palette, the shade Electric. And next, we have the shade Good Vibes. Ooh, wow. Next we have the shade Side Hustle, and it's green, like dark green. Is that supposed to be like money? It's also a very pretty shimmer shade. Now that one to me looks more like a glitter shimmer rather than like a foil shimmer. It's almost like a dark green with glitter pieces in it rather than like that smooth metallic finish over the whole top of it. Either way though, it's really pretty. Now to the second row, we have the shade Midwest. Another matte brown, but very warm. Maybe more of like an orange than a matte brown. Next, we have the shade Dues Paid. That one's very close to like a chocolatey brown. I like that. And currently, I'm not really getting any fallout or anything, which I'm really just kind of pushing in the pan and swirling around a few times, just like that. Next, we have the shade Eve Rose, like the day before Rose. Eve Rose, haha, get it? Ooh, that's a really pretty lavender. It's a very light pinky purple. Oh, you can't really see it on the camera. And next we have the shade Belle Violet. I feel like if that had a scent, it would smell like lavender. And next we have the shade Capricorn. Ooh, wow, that's very dark. I should really try to keep these where we can see all of them at the same time, shouldn't I? Next we have the shade Pi-Fi? I don't really know how to say that. Pi-Fi, Pi-Fi, Pi-Fi? It looks like Pi-Fi. Pi-Fi swatch is very patchy, just so we're all aware. Next we have, oh heavens! Ooh, what is that? It's like a very creamy off-white. Next, we've got the shade Love Tons. I feel like I can tell why that's named Love Tons. It just looks like the color of love. Next, we have the shade Pizzazz. Oh wow, that one is very, very pretty. I like that one a lot. That's like a, I don't know, like a maroon pink red color with almost an orange shift to it, I think. Then we have the shade Family. Then we have the shade Top Story. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Pizzazz and Top Story are like my favorites so far. Oh. So pretty. Well, and I also really like Grateful, so maybe those three. Let's just say all the shimmer shades are like my favorites forever in every palette. Not really, they are different in every palette. Next, we have the shade Apartment. Okay, that is the warm chocolatey brown that I was talking about earlier. And next we have the shade Cupcake. Oh, that's so cute! I like that one. It does look like some frosting or something, doesn't it? Yeah, I like that. That's nice. Oh, my arm. Oh, it's so tired. Right back here. It burns right back there. Yep. Then we have the shade Laughcry. Oh, it's like a very corally, melony color. Next, we have the shade Cheer. And then we have the shade Heartbeat. Ooh, this one's also very pretty. It's like a deep red, almost like a, I don't know, like a maroon with another orangey shift around it. Next we have the shade Corduroy. Wow. It's a very deep foresty green. You know, it would have been perfect to have this shade on my inspiration from an image snow day video. I'll link that right here. And you can see the green shade that I used on my eyes. This one would have been the perfect shade for that look. And the last shade in the palette, thank goodness, because my arm is about to fall off, is called Darken Early. Oh, and it's a black. So this is all 24 shades from Makeup Revolution, the Emily Edit The Wants palette. I mean, it's got a pretty nice varying color story. I see a lot of browns and reds and greens and a couple of purples. Mostly browns and reds, but it's pretty. Okay, that was a whole lot of swatches. Like, that was more swatches than, like, I don't know. That was a lot of swatches. I always seem to pick palettes to swatch and review that have lots and lots of shades. Can I get one of those, like, Huda Beauty palettes? The ones that have, like, 9 shades in them? Can we do that next time? And I'm gonna start by priming my eyes with the Makeup Revolution concealer in the shade C6? C2. C6. I was right the first time. I shouldn't have doubted myself. I knew better. So even though we know that swatches really have no bearing on the actual outcome of how the shadows perform, a lot of those matte shades were very chalky. They just felt chalky from what I'm used to swatching. It kind of reminded me of the Subculture palette, the Norvina Subculture palette. Okay, so now that my eyes are primed, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the eyeshadow. I'm gonna start by using this big fluffy Profusion brush. It doesn't have a name on it, but it's like a giant fluffy blending brush. And I'm gonna take this into the shade Prayer. You know, I do feel the need to tell you guys real quick that with this dark and early shade, and with really most of the shades, if you have this palette and you end up getting any shade or eyeshadow on the outside of the actual shadow pans, I don't think you're gonna get it off. Because that black, like, I took a makeup wipe over that twice. And the only way I could get it off is if I put my nail on the makeup wipe and like started scraping it. And that was the only way it would actually like scrape off. So for whatever reason, eyeshadow doesn't really come off of this. And I don't know why. And that's actually kind of personally disappointing to me because I'm super OCD about keeping my palettes clean. I don't know why. There's really no reason to, but I just like a pretty palette, that's all. Man, I really went there with this color, didn't I? Oh, I wish this was alive so I could ask you guys if you wanted me to do like 2 looks with this and you could see 2 different looks, or if you just want me to stick with one. Tell you what, since my last palette review was 2 looks, this one I'll stick with 1 look so as not to take 80 million minutes. And then you guys can let me know how you felt about the 1 look versus the 2 looks. And if you like 2 looks better with 1 palette, if it gives you a better idea of what the palette performs like and what you can get out of it, let me know. If you're cool with the 1 look and I annoy you enough that 1 look is perfectly fine enough and that's all you want to watch, let me know that too. Well, so far I've got to say that that shade blended out very nicely. There's no patchiness, there's no rough spots, there's nothing wrong that happened. It laid down nicely, it blended out nicely, it dispersed well. It's a pretty shade. It's not what I was thinking it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like my skin tone, but a little darker. So I was gonna use it as an all over color. And then I was gonna go with the transition shade, but we just went there instead. Like all the way there right now. That's what we did. And that's okay too. We're just gonna work a little differently now, that's all. Now I'm gonna go with my Luxie 229 tapered blending brush. I like this one because it's like a big fluffy brush, but it's smaller a little bit. And now I'm gonna go into the shade Pi-Fi, Peefy, whatever it's called. I still feel like it's Pi-Fi. I'm just gonna stay calling it Pi-Fi. And I'm gonna condense that mainly down to the crease, just blend it into Prayer a little bit and see what we can come up with. I really, really like these shades blended together. Like that more red tone with that deep purple shade. So now I'm gonna go back in with my Profusion brush and just try to blend out the edges between that. I might have to dip into Prayer a little bit again just to kind of mesh them into each other. Okay, I feel like that edge is blended out pretty well now. They blend in together well enough. And now that that is done, I'm gonna take this little Beauty 360 brush. It's a very narrow end, but it's kind of longer so that whenever you put pressure on it, it's gonna bend a little bit and have a little bit of pliability instead of it being only so direct, like just where you put it is where it's gonna go. I want it to spread out just a little bit, but not a lot. Just enough to fill up my crease and be a little bit bigger than the actual brush end, which is what it should do. So I'm gonna do that with the shade Family and keep it only in the crease and just deepen up the crease even more than what it is already. Okay, I've gotta say that so far, these shades are building up so nicely for me. I know that the one other review that I saw was not successful at all, and I honestly thought that I was gonna have a lot more trouble than I am, but everything's working perfectly. I mean, I don't know if it was a different formula before. If it was, it wasn't stated. That's not something that was talked about or addressed specifically, or not that I read anyway. I could be wrong, but so far so good. Everything is nice that I'm using. They're working well together. They're blending well together. I've stacked 3 shadows on top of each other, and each one is blending into the next seamlessly. The edges are clean. I'm not having any patchy spots. And now I think I'm gonna do just a quarter cut crease. So I'm gonna take some more of my Makeup Revolution concealer and just dab that right at the front or the inner corner of my eye, and just use this Wet n Wild concealer brush and carve out a quarter cut crease. Okay, I feel like that's enough cut out. Now I'm gonna take my Alamar Cosmetics 3 Ojitos round flat brush, more like a packer brush, and this time I'm gonna go into the shade Grateful and pack that on top of that quarter cut crease, or 3/4 cut crease. Yeah, 3/4 cut crease. Oh yeah. Wow, I really, really like that. That's really pretty. Now I'm gonna go back in with the little bitty Beauty 360 eyeshadow brush and back into the shade Family and just deepen up that outer edge and blend the green Grateful into Family. Wow, even blending that matte purple into that shimmery green made a really smooth, nice gradient. And that's not the easiest thing to do whenever it comes to mixing mattes and shimmers or metallics or foils or whatever. They just typically don't stack up well. But the purple just laid over the green very nicely, no problem. Okay, so now I'm gonna finish the other eye with this same process off camera. I'm gonna do that really quick and I'll be right back and we'll finish everything up. Okay, so now I have duplicated what I did on the first eye to the second eye. And really, I didn't have any problems whenever I was doing it. I did notice, and this is probably just my fault, that I started blending a little heavy-handed and it started turning a little bit darker over here. So anyway, I just stopped blending and everything was okay. After that, I just moved on and continued, and I really like it. I like how it matches and looks, and I don't know, I just really like it. But now we need to finish it off. So I'm gonna take this Luxie 121 mini tapered brush and go into the shade Love Tons and use that to smoke out my lower lash line. Okay, now that the lower lash line is smoked out a little bit, I feel like it's kind of missing something, and I feel like that something is maybe like a brow bone highlight and an inner corner highlight, but I want to test out more colors. So I think I'm just gonna go crazy and use random colors in random places at this point and see what I can come up with and it not look weird still. Or who knows, it may look weird, I don't know. We're gonna try though. Now I'm gonna use this large shadow brush. It's a rounded, like flat packer brush, I guess, but it says large shadow. I just can't read the brand of it. And I'm gonna go into the shade Eve Rose and use that on my brow bone and see if that like light lavender purple will blend into this like deep red purple. See what happens, maybe. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm gonna try it anyway. I'm gonna spray some MAC Fix Plus on the brush. Okay, You gotta really, really pack it on, but eventually it turns into a shimmer. It just takes a little bit of work. That's all. And now I think the very last thing I'm gonna do is take this Luxie 111 mini flat angled brush and go into the shade Cupcake and put that on my inner corner. Okay, well that was kind of disappointing, but the color's there now, so we're good. Now I think I'm just gonna pop on some eyeliner, mascara, lashes, and a lip, and we're good after that. For my eyeliner, I'm gonna use the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eyeliner in the shade Voodoo. Voodoo. Okay, our purple liner is on, and I really, really like that. I think it goes with the look really well. I think that I might be lazy tonight, and I might not use lashes. Is that cheating? I mean, I don't have any new lashes that like I want to show off right now. Eventually I will. Soon I will, actually. But for tonight, or today, or this afternoon, this evening, this brunch, this breakfast, this way late at night, we're gonna use the Tarte Man-Eater mascara. Now for lipstick. I can't get over using this. I know that you've seen it in like 2 videos, so oh my gosh, that means like every video now. Not really. But I'm gonna use the shiny glittery things, MAC lipstick lip kit, and I'm gonna use, this one is in the shade Rebel. Alright guys, lipstick is on. And this is the final look. Like, I mean, I could deal with this. I don't think it's problematic. I like this. I do. I thoroughly am enjoying this. That eyeshadow, I almost forgot this was a palette review. So yes, the Makeup Revolution, the Emily Edits The Wants palette. I am gonna give it a yes. I would recommend this. The only thing that I wish was different is the shimmer shades in this palette are not what I want them to be. They are not super crazy shiny, and I really love super crazy shiny, and I'm used to that. I want like highlighter vibe reflection in my shimmer shadows. I want them to be like metallic foil type shadows, and these are not. The matte shades in this aren't nearly as soft as I want them to be. They're more on the powdery side, but not so powdery that it's unworkable. It's just not a super high quality palette. It only cost me 15 bucks. Oh, I forgot to tell you how much it cost. It was 15 bucks, by the way. So for $15, $20, I had a coupon. So for $20, this is a really, really good deal. I mean, the shadows were very, very workable for me. I was able to blend them together. I was able to stack 3 on top of each other, and they still blended. I had no patches, no like weird spots that wouldn't blend out. They all blended together nicely and fluidly. I was able to do a cut crease, and the shimmer shadow stuck right on top of the concealer, no problem. It wasn't as shimmery as I would have liked it to have been, but it was shimmery. So for $20, I literally cannot complain. So I will not be returning this palette. And I would say if you have an extra 20 bucks, plus tax, like $22.50 or something like that, and you want this kind of color story, then I would definitely recommend it. Plus, the packaging is kind of cute and sleek. The only downside to this for the packaging is it's not really like a stick in your bag and go sort of palette. I could definitely see a problem with that fitting into most people's makeup bags, so it's more like on your vanity sort of makeup palette. And that concludes the review, first impressions, try on side of this video. Next, I would like to give a shout out to one of the many people who discovered the secret word in the last video, which was thrift. So great job everyone who found it. Since I have a schedule of posting videos once a week, even though I end up making more videos than that, I thought it would be fair to start doing random shout outs rather than just doing like the first one to comment, because that doesn't really seem very fair. This way everybody has an equal chance, because some people work, some people aren't expecting the time of when I'm gonna upload. There's not like a for sure time. There is a for sure day, but if I put out more videos than that, then you might not know. The random winner this time is Bay Gecko and Mommy Sanchez. Thank you so much for catching the secret word in the last video and watching my videos and being a subscriber of mine. I really, really do appreciate it. And congrats on being the shout out for this video. And now the secret word for this video is friends. And that's because I am truly blessed to have you guys in my life. and I feel like we're all friends. I know you're all my beauties because you're all beautiful and you're all subscribed to my channel and come to see me, but I wouldn't have a channel without you, so it makes sense. Anyway, that's the secret word. I hope you guys had so much fun hanging out with me in this video, because I had a lot of fun doing this look and testing out this palette. I'm having another giveaway. This one is focused on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, or if you go to my Instagram, you will see that one of the posts on my feed is my giveaway. It'll be either the last or the second to last post in my feed. If you go and check that out, the details of the giveaway are in the description box below, and I will also link the giveaway in the description box below of this video. If you want to see this look later and other looks like this, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. My username is the exact same for every account. It's at ChristopherJMUA. I made it super easy to remember so you wouldn't forget. Speaking of not forgetting, always remember and never forget that you're beautiful. Bye guys. If you're still here and you're still watching, there's a little circle right in the middle of this screen. If you click on that circle, that'll let you subscribe to me. There's also two boxes, one on this side, one on this side. One of these let you watch the previous video that I uploaded, and the other lets you watch the video that's suggested to you based on your watch history. Go ahead and watch one of those too.